Okay, Dana, what do we have here?
Well, we've got a 1928. It's a Hupmobile. It's a custom-bodied Victoria Opera Coupe. And as you know, Dave, I only buy things that are very unusual, very rare, and completely original. That's exactly what this car is. And what really distinguishes this car is right here. This tells you that it was custom bodied by Braun, and it was done at the pleasure of the purchasing person, who I have all the records of this car from day one when it was purchased. This car has been maintained since 1928. It is completely bone stock. The only thing that I've really done to it, I've done two things. The wood wheels, spokes were rotten when I got it, and I didn't know that at first. I thought it was the tires that were old. So I replaced the tires. They had the same problem. And then I determined that the wood spokes were loose. So I took the wheels off, sent it to George in Sonora, California, who re-spoked all four wheels, did a beautiful job. And as you can tell, it's got new tires, new wood wheels on it. The restoration of this car was done somewhere in the 80s, and the car was shown at many car shows. Come this way, Dave. And I have the judging sheets from those shows, and it did very well at the time. So this car is complete with so many amenities for its day, and I'm going to show you some of those amenities. But the car presents itself very well. It's the paint shows its age and its wear. You'll see some cracking and so forth. From 10 feet, it's a very, very presentable car. So this is more of a driver kind of car now, where it used to be a show car. And the interior is immaculate. And some of the features on the interior you're going to find that you wouldn't find in any other car of its age, unless you were getting into the Rolls, Cadillac, and other. And this was built by an independent Hupmobile. So in, let's say, the strata of cost, this would be like a Buick that was custom built. But whoever bought this wanted to make sure that it was a formal Victoria Opera Coupe. That's why you do not, it was not fitted with a passenger seat, so there was easy access to the couple in the rear of the car. In the back here, you'll see the compartment, and they would call it an ice box, for their champagne when they went to the opera. There's many, many other very interesting features to this car, and when we do a drive around, I'll show you those. But this car has been so well maintained, and it's sat at a prestigious museum up in Fairbanks, Alaska for many years, and they used it for parades and other things. So this car has a glorious history. I have all the information on all the ownership of it, and you know, it deserves to be preserved forever. It's that nice of a car.
Beautiful, Dana.
Okay, this won't be a cold start per se. It's been sitting here for a while, so I'll go ahead and start it. The engine just purrs. It's very smooth. Always starts.
Right.
So I'm going to put this down and we'll take a little ride.
Okay.
But all the gauges work, the speedo works, and this is a special device right here, which is your engine temperature, and right now it shows cold. You might look at the clock over here. It works. Everything here works. All the lights work, everything. The windows go up and down very nicely. These are special windows that you move it and it comes down at certain positions and it stays.
Huh.
Well, I don't know if that works. But anyway, all these accessories were custom built just for this car. This cranks out your windshield for your AC, have you? And it's just a really, really fine car. Here's your parking brake. We're just going to go for a little ride. It's quiet.
It's amazing that all the gauges work.
Yeah, it is.
And the speedo too?
Well, you'll see that.
Wow.
Yeah. Those are the things that usually break on these old cars. This has been so well maintained over the years, and I can't say for sure, but that's probably the mileage since it was restored in the 80s, which is 2199.
Mm-hmm. Looks like it.
Yeah. You see your amp gauge is working, your oil pressure's working, gas gauge is working, speedo.
And the clock.
And the clock, yeah. It's a beautiful day, Dave.
It sure is.
And we're riding in a beautiful car. This was, this would have been, you know, a really high-end car since it was coach built. And the owner of this car, the guy who ordered it, he wanted something very different, very special. So he didn't go with the top automakers. He went to an independent. Hupmobile had a very interesting and respected reputation. They did a number of custom bodies with different coach builders. This being a very rare one because it's a Victoria Coupe. It has mechanical brakes that work very well. I'm in second right now. Clutch works really good. The transmission's really tight. I'll just take you a little spin around. You know, if you look around the car, you'll see all the neat embellishments that they've done. And like these up here, and your bracket for your mirrors. Just everything was beautifully
Are those
done.
wind wings kind of tinted like glass?
They are. Yeah. And you know, you drive this to Cars and Coffee, and it should draw so much attention. Basically, because nobody's ever seen anything quite like this.
Yeah, I've never photographed one.
Well, and you never will, except for this one. It has all the original suspension parts, which is rare, and they work. The underside is very clean. And this is, you know, a respectable 50-mile-an-hour car. Basically, 50 miles an hour in 1928 was lightning speed. It's not today, but because of all the technology that they had at that time, you know, tires, wheels, braking, etc. It was not wise to go over 50 miles an hour. We're here at the new Santa Barbara Airport. We'll just run around it and go back. And Dave, I don't know if you can hear, but you know how quiet that engine is.
Oh yeah, it's wonderful.
Yeah, it's nice. And since I just had all 4 wood wheels re-spoked, and you've got 4 new tires, that was just done in December, and I just put the wheels back on the car, maybe a week and a half ago. There could be some balancing done to them, which I haven't had time to do, just to make it a little bit more perfect.
Great, Dana. Thank you so much for sharing.
Well, right now, just looking at operating temperature, it's probably 150 degrees. It's between 120 and right in the middle of 180.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's about where it runs. Although, you know, this is not a hot day necessarily. This is probably 65 to 70 outside right now. And David, what time is it?
I don't have my watch on.
You don't have to.
Oh, it's 10
Just
after
take a
2.
look at the clock.
I forgot.
Yeah. And it keeps perfect time. That's a
Wow.
8A Waltham clock. So that'll go for over a week.
Great.
If you want a little more air, just kick this out.
Yeah.
You feel the flow going through there?
Yeah, AC.
Yeah, that's your AC. It's amazing how well the window cranks work, and all the glass is in very good condition. Usually, you know, with older restorations, what you find is the elastic lets go on the pockets. These are beautiful. And what I do have on this, I have more paint in the back and more of this material. I have, let's say, a half a bolt of this material in case anything needed to be replaced. And I have touch-up paint. That is this paint for this car.
Right. Is this a lacquer paint, John? Do you know?
I'm guessing it probably is. But you see it's got enough torque that I never moved it out of third. And it's just rolling right along. Still in third. And it's not barking at me or bucking or anything.
It's awesome.
It is.
Well, this is a great spot to do this video.
Yep, it sure is. Now I'm back in second. Okay, that took us about 8 minutes, David.
Yeah, super.
By the clock.
Okay, great. Okay, thank you so much for sharing, Dana.
So what I'm going to do, I'm going to send you more pictures of the other things that come with this car. I mean, it's got the original crank, it's got the original jack, it's got spare paint, it's got spare material, and I've got pictures of all that stuff.
Okay.
So I'll send those to you.
Okay, super. Thank you, Dana.
All right.